So why are guys that are in jail so ripped and so jacked? Like so many guys that go in looking a certain way in jail, whenever they come out, or just a few years later after being in jail, that they come out fucking like these muscular beasts. What is the reason for this? Now there are a few different reasons, but there are some strong points. Like first of all, you know, if you look at what's needed to build muscle, you know, all that it takes is good quality nutrition, meaning you're getting enough protein, carbohydrates, fats, and if you're bulking, you're getting slowly increasing calories. Second of all, obviously your training, you need to be having a good solid training split, and you're applying progressive overload, meaning that you're progressing in the gym. The third thing is sleep. Obviously you need to be getting enough sleep. You know, they're the three most important things for building muscle. If you look at someone who's in jail, they have a lot of opportunities to sleep a lot longer. They aren't taking care of kids. They don't have a stressful job. You know, they're just in jail serving time. So if you look at that, that means that they can get a lot of sleep, which is needed to build muscle. So this sort of coincides and builds upon the second part. So obviously you need to be applying the progressive overload in training. Now there's so many different techniques that you can use to build muscle. So obviously a lot of people know that frequency can promote muscle building properties. You know, that's obvious. So many people have proven that now. But a lot of years ago, people would have told you need to train one muscle group a week. Now a lot of people are training muscles 2 or 3 times a week. So in prison, those guys, if you look at it this way, they can sleep, say 8 hours a night, get up, they can go to the gym, train for a few hours, then go back to the cell, sleep for another 8 hours if they fucking wanted to. Sleep for another 4 hours if they wanted to, which is not what most people are getting the opportunity to do. So if those big fucking jacked guys are training, as soon as they get up, they go back to sleep again. They get up again later on in that day, so they've had another sleep, which is giving the body such a great opportunity to recover and balance from that last workout. They're going to go into that second workout very fucking fresh. That means that they can easily work out twice a day. Some guys will train all fucking day, and this is where it proves about, you know, so many people saying about overtraining and stuff like that. If there's people who are, like, you have to understand, in jail there's not a lot of, you know, outside pressures. Now, obviously, there's going to be fucking, in certain prisons, there's a lot of fucking risk that you'll get stabbed and raped and all this crazy fucking shit, which is a lot of stress. But I mean, they don't have outside pressures, meaning that, you know, they won't have to pick up their fucking kid from school, or they won't have to have a certain bit of work done for the job that they're at. So pretty much what it means is that they can solely focus on what it is they want to do. And if they want to go to the gym, then they can just focus on the gym, focus on that workout, focusing on progressing it. They can fucking do 3, 5, 10 hour workouts if they fucking want to. Now, obviously, there's still duties in prison. Obviously, you're not allowed to just use the gym all fucking day. Obviously, you're going to have to go and do stuff. There's different duties that cellmates have to do and stuff like that. There's obviously certain times which are locked down and you're not allowed to leave your cell. But for the most part, these guys can sleep a lot. They can train a lot. And then with that, if you're sleeping, which is resting, and you're working out a lot, you're tearing down those muscles, you're resting, which is going to build them. Now, a lot of people know that they get set meals in prison. And this is going to fall along with my fourth point, but obviously they get set meals, but those set meals, it's just one part of the fucking circle. Meaning that if you have most of the circle, which is you've got the training, you've got the sleeping, the third part that you're missing is the nutrition. But understand that those guys are still getting their protein, they're still getting carbohydrates, they're still getting fats, which is enough to fuel the muscle to grow. So with that, getting the rest and training is going to promote a lot of muscle growth. Now, another thing is certain prisons allow people to get in different things. Some people are allowed books. Some people are allowed to have supplements in prison. Not every single prison works the same. There's ones which are maximum security, and there's ones which are lower security, and there's not a lot of risk involved. Now, this is the most important thing. A lot of guys, I would say most guys who are in jail are on fucking steroids. Like, that's certain. And a lot of people are like, no, you can't give fucking drugs in prison. You absolutely fucking can. And there's people who run businesses in prison. So if you're wondering why these guys are so jacked, a lot of them are pumping steroids into themselves. And this isn't like a few people, a lot of fucking people are. And the reason for that is because a lot of people aren't really going to be caring about their health. they're going to be more concerned about safety in prison. And if you're going to a fucking very dangerous prison, no one wants to fuck with a swole motherfucker. I don't care who you are. So that's the way a lot of people are looking at it, and they're jumping on steroids. But that's not the point of this video. This is the reason why they're jacked. But just to get that point across, that's the reason why these guys are, a lot of them are on steroids, because they want to be big and able to protect themselves. But a lot of people seem to think that there are no drugs or steroids in jail. People smuggle in stuff all the time. People are shoving them up their ass. Understand that there's a lot of people who are going in and out of jail. Not everyone's getting a rubber glove fucking hand up their ass checking for drugs. The only way you're going to get searched for drugs is if they think you're carrying drugs. And there's a lot of ways that you can hide them inside your body and get them out. But there are some natural guys who are big. As I've said at the start of this, they're getting a lot of sleep. They're getting a lot of training. They're applying the basic principles which get results. And then this falls along with the second kind of group, which may still be getting those a lot of sleep, a lot of working out. Some guys still get a lot of nutrition. You know, there's some guys who will get better fed than others just through certain methods that are used. Either they have a lot of supplements. You know, there will be people in prison who have whey protein and creatine. I know a lot of you are like, there's no fucking way. Yes, there is. There's some people who have phones in prison. You know, it could be completely different. There could be a jail in the UK, which is like the softest jail ever, that everyone gets along and it's a very nice atmosphere. There will be jails, and I'm not being stereotypical, but there will be certain jails, like say in Mexico, that they fucking will, you know, people die every day. You know, you don't hear of a lot of deaths in jail in the fucking UK. I'm not saying they're any better or worse, but it's going to be a lot different. So that's why I know a lot of people are getting steroids. And you know, with that, if you are taking steroids and working out, regardless if you get shit sleep and shit nutrition, now obviously getting everything on board is going to be amazing. But if you're training and you're taking steroids and you're getting a bit of nutrition and a bit of sleep, you will get fucking amazing results. I don't care what anyone else says, you will get amazing results. And that's why these dudes are so fucking jacked in prison. Boom!